The Senate voted Thursday to pass a massive $1.7 trillion government spending bill that will fund critical government operations across federal agencies and provide emergency aid for Ukraine and natural disaster relief. The House must next pass the measure as lawmakers race the clock to avert a shutdown at the end of the week. The expectation on Capitol Hill is that a shutdown will be avoided. But congressional leaders have little room for error with government funding set to expire at the end of the day Friday. Once the House passes the bill, it will be sent to President Joe Biden to be signed into law. The final vote tally in the Senate was 68 to 29. GOP Senator Mike Lee of Utah insisted on getting a vote on his amendment to keep in place the immigration policy that allows migrants to be turned back at the border, in an effort to prevent the spread of COVID-19, which Republicans strongly support. In order to break the impasse, Sems. Kyrsten Sinema of Arizona and Jon Tester of Montana wrote an amendment in an attempt to give moderates an alternative way to vote in support of extending Title 42, which the administration and most Democrats want to rid of. Centrist senators like Tester, Sinema, and Sen. Joe Manchin of West Virginia, who might have voted for the GOP amendment, can now vote for the competing Democratic measure that demonstrates their support for the policy, easing a politically tough vote. As expected, both amendments did not pass. Lee's amendment to extend the Trump-era immigration policy failed 47 to 50. The Democratic alternate version from Sinema Tester went down 10 to 87. The Senate had hoped to vote first to approve the deal this week and then send it to the House for approval before government funding runs out on December 23. The massive spending bill for fiscal year 2023, known on Capitol Hill as an omnibus, provides $772.5 billion for non-defense, domestic programs and $858 billion in defense funding. It includes roughly $45 billion in emergency assistance to Ukraine and NATO allies and roughly $40 billion to respond to natural disasters like hurricanes, wildfires and flooding. The spending bill also includes the Secure Act 2.0, a package aimed at making it easier to save for retirement, and a measure to ban TikTok from government devices. In a divisive political environment where bipartisan action often does not happen without immense time pressure, it has become the norm in recent years on Capitol Hill to release massive funding bills at the 11th hour and then proceed to jam them through both chambers. That has led to criticism from some lawmakers who say the process is rushed and secretive and does not operate with the transparency it should. This story and headline have been updated with additional developments.
Tesla shares tank after doubling U.S. discounts on key models. On December 1st, Tesla started offering a $3,750 credit on Model 3 and Model Y vehicles delivered before the end of the year. It raised the credit to $7,500 on Wednesday. It also recently started offering free supercharging for 10,000 miles for vehicles delivered in December. The rare discounts follow a series of price hikes over the past couple of years by Tesla, which blames supply chain disruption and inflation. Tesla underperformed the broader market, which fell as data showing a resilient economy fueled worries over the Federal Reserve's path on hiking interest rates. Analysts have reduced their estimates for Tesla's vehicle deliveries for the current quarter, reflecting slowing growth in key markets like the United States and China. The fact they seem to be cutting price to increase deliveries volumes doesn't raise confidence, particularly at a time where we see increasing competition, Craig Irwin, a senior analyst at Roth Capital Partners, said. As the U.S. government plans to introduce tax credits to spur EV demand starting in January, Tesla customers had held off purchases until the incentives take effect, weighing on demand. The latest discount came just days after the U.S. Treasury Department delayed restrictions on EV incentives until March, meaning Tesla and other US-made electric vehicles will be likely to qualify for the full $7,500 in incentives starting in January. Tesla is also offering a $5,000 credit in Canada on Model 3 and Model Y vehicles delivered before the end of the year. The automaker has also given a discount of 6,000 yuan on some models in China to the end of 2022. Tesla said in October it would miss its vehicle delivery target this year, but downplayed concerns about demand after its revenue missed Wall Street estimates. New York Attorney General's office looking into allegations against George Santos. The office, however, did not confirm whether it had opened an official investigation into Santos and declined to comment further on the matter. A lawyer for Santos, Joe Murray, told NBC News in an email Thursday afternoon that he had not been contacted by anyone from the New York Attorney General's office. "I have nothing further to add at this time," he said. Shortly after Murray's email, Santos shared a message on Twitter addressing his district's constituents. "To the people of #NewYork03, I have my story to tell and it will be told next week. I want to assure everyone that I will address your questions and that I remain committed to deliver the results I campaigned on: public safety, inflation, education and more," he wrote. In Monday's investigative report, which cited public documents and court filings, the New York Times said it was unable to substantiate many of the qualifications Santos cited on the campaign trail and his official campaign website. According to his campaign site, Santos graduated from Baruch College with a bachelor's degree in economics and finance. But the Times said Baruch officials could not find records of his attendance. Also, the college told NBC New York that a search of academic records could neither confirm his attendance nor his completion of graduation requirements. Additionally, Santos has claimed to be a seasoned Wall Street financier and investor, but representatives from Goldman Sachs and Citigroup, where Santos claimed to have worked, told the Times they had no record of his employment. The Times also called into question Santos' real estate portfolio and a claim that he had founded an animal rescue charity that saved over 2,500 cats and dogs. Monday evening, Santos posted a statement on Twitter from his attorney dismissing the Times report. "It is no surprise that Congressman-elect Santos has enemies at the New York Times who are attempting to smear his good name with these defamatory allegations," the statement from Murray said, in part. Santos made political history in November when he won New York's 3rd congressional district race, which covers parts of Long Island and Queens, becoming the first openly LGBTQ non-incumbent Republican elected to Congress. The contest also marked the first time 2 openly gay congressional candidates had gone head-to-head in a general election. Santos' competitor in the November election, Democrat Robert Zimmerman, said members of both parties should be grateful that the state's attorney general is looking into Santos. "The house of cards is quickly falling around Santos wherever his home may be," Zimmerman said, referring to an allegation in the Times report that Santos does not live at the address where he is registered to vote. Tesla behind 8-vehicle crash was in full self-driving mode, says driver. The driver of a 2021 Tesla Model S told California authorities the vehicle was in full self-driving mode when the technology malfunctioned, causing an 8-vehicle crash on the San Francisco Bay Bridge last month. The crash on Thanksgiving Day resulted in 2 juveniles being transported to hospital and led to lengthy delays on the bridge. The incident was made public in a police report on Wednesday. It is the latest in a series of accidents blamed on Tesla technology. The electric automaker's chief executive, Elon Musk, has heavily promoted full self-driving software, sold as $15,000 add-on to Tesla vehicles. But it faces legal, regulatory, and public scrutiny. After the San Francisco accident, the driver told police the FSD software malfunctioned. The police report said the vehicle was traveling at 55 miles per hour when it shifted lane but braked abruptly, slowing the car to about 20 miles per hour. That led to another vehicle hitting the Tesla and a chain reaction of crashes, according to Reuters. However, police were unable to determine if the software was in operation or that the driver's account was accurate. The report was made public after a records request. The crash occurred hours after Musk said Tesla would make FSD software available to anyone in North America who requested it. It previously offered the system only to drivers with high safety scores. The police report said that if FSD malfunctioned, the driver should have manually taken control. Tesla has repeatedly said its advanced self-driving technology requires active driver supervision, and its vehicles are not autonomous. Drivers are also warned when they install FSD that it may do the wrong thing at the worst time. The National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, which is investigating Tesla after reports of braking, without warning, at random, and often repeatedly in a single drive, did not immediately comment on the San Francisco crash. Last summer, NHTSA upgraded the investigation to what it calls an engineering analysis.